Today I'm going to talk to you all about how to memorize efficiently. So memorizing quickly is a really essential skill to have as a student in high school because most of the tests that we get are based solely on information that you have to memorize. So if you are able to memorize, you will definitely do better in school and will definitely do well on most of your tests. Taking advantage of your visual memory over your verbal memory is a really key idea to memorizing quickly. So although verbal memory, which is like being able to retain like words and how they're arranged, like you can use anagrams or acronyms or songs, rhymes, rhythm, like whatever works for you. Those are really great methods if you're in a time crunch. However, your visual memory, like the memory in which you can construct an image in your mind, is so much more efficient. You are able to remember a whole lot more information in less time. And so the best way I found to expound upon that idea is to use a lot of color in this summary foldable here for history. And I find that the alternating colors helps me focus and I end up retaining information better for a test, especially if I'm cramming. And also mind mapping. So I know I talk about mind maps a lot. However, the reason why they're so effective is because they visually link information together in a way that you will be sure to remember. I had a test on DNA replication today, and I was able to remember all of the different enzymes because I made this mind map just a couple hours before I took the test. So these two methods are super important for memorizing, which is why I use them in almost all of my subjects. If you are studying for a class that takes a lot of terms, people, and events, like history, it's important to first take really good notes. And I have a previous video on how exactly I take notes for AP US History. But in addition to that, I always reread the chapter 2 or 3 times, depending on how long each unit is. And so while doing this, I simply take this notepad and I write down every person's name that I encounter while reading the text. So this sounds kind of strange because I don't write down what the person has done, anything about them at all, except for their names. And I find that the action of me writing down the names while I'm reading exactly like what their context is within the chapter helps a lot, especially on the second or third reading, because I think it's just because I'm handwriting the information, and when you handwrite, it encodes better in your memory because you are moving and writing down, and those synapses in your brain are being connected over and over again because you're both reading it and writing it down. So that's one really good way to memorize, especially if you've already been familiar with the information. This next tip is especially wonderful for those who are auditory learners like myself. So a really good way to memorize is to record yourself reading your notes out loud. So doing this with either your phone or a computer with a microphone is especially useful if you are someone who's on the go. So if you are maybe driving to school or you take the bus, maybe you're taking a walk, whatever it is, you can really just put earphones in and listen to yourself reading your notes out loud. And it's almost like you're in class having the teacher lecture the class on the subject. And so that is a super helpful way to memorize information because you don't necessarily need to be studying all the time, but you can listen to the information occasionally and it helps a lot. Even following your voiceover along and reading your notes while you listen is also really effective because you're able to, 1, listen to the information, and 2, read the information. And since you're doing both at once, you're able to encode fast and very efficiently. So this is my absolute favorite way to remember information. I do this during finals week, maybe for midterms, anything that I have a lot of information to cover. And this way saves a lot of time and less staring at your paper. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'll be posting new videos every Wednesday, and definitely be sure to check out my 8Tracks, Tumblr, and Instagram accounts because I post new content regularly in all 3. Bye guys!